Welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to install all of the programs that you need to get up and running with Hugo. In this video I'm focusing on how to do the installation on Windows, but the components of this video are extracted from a full-length course which I have on Skillshare, and in that I go through installing on Windows, Mac and Linux, and I also go through everything else that you need to know to get yourself started with Hugo and Bootstrap 5. Now, a lot of you are probably asking yourself, why would I go with Hugo? So the main reason why I use Hugo is it can produce super fast websites, which in turn gives you good SEO rankings and also allows you to have cheap hosting opportunities. You don't need to spend a lot of money on super fast hosting because Hugo is already quite fast as it is. When you're running Hugo, it will provide development and production builds super fast. Within less than a second, you'll have your updated website in the browser, and production builds don't take much longer. It's really easy to incorporate pure HTML code into templates. There's no additional programming language to learn there. We can generate pages from Markdown, and the Go templating language is quite easy to learn. Another thing I really like about Hugo is you can push your repository, such as a GitHub repository, to a hosting provider like Netlify. Then your site will be automatically built. Hugo is also relatively new. For that reason, it's going to be around for a long time. So in addition to installing Hugo, we're going to be installing a number of different software packages so that you can have an effective development environment. That's so you can effectively write your code, compile your websites, and test them in a browser. All the software packages discussed here are required except for GitHub Desktop, which I highly recommend anyway. And it's really important that you follow along and you install these software packages in the order that I do it in this video. Otherwise, you'll have some connection issues between them. And like I said at the beginning, this course is part of a full-length course on Skillshare. I published a number of courses on Skillshare around static web design, Hugo and Bootstrap 5. So if you like this video, feel free to click on the link below. You get 1 month free on Skillshare. You can do all of my courses. It is 1 month free and there is no minimum amount of time that you have to stay on Skillshare. You can cancel at any time. So if you use the link below in the description, you'll not only get a free month of membership with Skillshare and some great courses from myself and many other excellent teachers, you'll also be able to support this channel. So the first website you need to go to is gohugo.io. This is the homepage for Hugo. If you scroll down, there's a quick start button, and then on the left you'll find install Hugo. There are a few ways you can do it on Windows. The first one, if you scroll down, is Chocolatey, and that's what we will be doing today. But please note there is an alternate method, and that's downloading Windows binary. It is quite complicated as you'll have to make sure that the Hugo binary is in the Windows path. Now we're going to choose to install Hugo via Chocolatey. Now you could go ahead and install Chocolatey, but it's actually included with Node.js. So I'm going to go ahead and download the current version of Node.js. Alright, so to agree to the license agreement, I'm going to choose the default installation folder, default components, and then I've got to tick this box here, and this is really important. We're going to also install Chocolatey. And we're going to click any T to continue with this installation script. So now that we've installed Node.js with Chocolatey included, we can go ahead and install Hugo and GoLang. GoLang is required later on if you're using Hugo modules. That's something we'll discuss in another video. So the command for Chocolatey is choco, and in this instance we're installing, so we run install, and the application is hugo-extended. You could just install Hugo, but there are other features you will most likely need later on that are in hugo-extended, such as SASS support. Now it will give you a confirmation, and you can do A for all. Now the next thing you'll have to install is the Go language, and this is useful for Hugo modules. So we'll run choco install GoLang, and again you'll have to do type A for accept all. So GoLang has finished installing. There is a message explaining that the environment variables including path have changed as we've installed new software, and there is a command there for refreshing, but I've commonly have issues with that, so I'm going to open up a new PowerShell. And then the new PowerShell, we're going to check that both Hugo Extended and the GoLang have been installed. We have installed Hugo Extended, but the command is still Hugo. And we can do Hugo version to check for the version. As you can see, we've got Hugo Extended installed. And for GoLang, the command is Go and then version. And we can see we've got the latest Go language installed. Now it's important the next thing you install is Visual Studio Code, and that's because after installing Visual Studio Code, we're going to be installing the Git command line interface and GitHub desktop, and in both those programs we're going to be selecting Visual Studio Code as our code editor. I like to have the open with code action for the directory context menu, so I can open a whole folder of code up, and also the open with code for the file context menus. You can open individual file in VS Code. Now you will need the Git command line utility to manage your source code. In addition to this, I do recommend the GitHub desktop program, which we will look at in a minute. But for now, we need to download the Git command line program from this link, which you'll find in the description. I'm going to untick Git GUI and Git Bash for Windows Explorer integration. I'm going to choose Visual Studio Code, the default text editor. I'm going to let Git decide the default branch name. I'm going to allow Git to run from the command line, but also from third-party software. And I'll choose the option for using Git's own bundled OpenSSH. And we'll use the OpenSSL library. Now I'm going to check out as is and commit Unix style line endings. Some people prefer to check out as Windows style and commit Unix style. I prefer to check out as is, which is usually the Unix style, so I don't have any conflicts in VS Code. I'm going to use the Windows default console, leave the default behavior, git pull, and use the Git Credential Manager core. And I'll leave the default settings for this screen for file caching and symbolic links. And I don't enable any of the experimental features. For people who are new to Git, it's highly recommended you download GitHub Desktop. The link's down below in the description. After GitHub Desktop has installed, you'll have to sign in with your github.com account. You will be redirected to the web browser to log into your GitHub account, which you can sign up for free. One thing you have to check for is that Visual Studio Code is configured as your code editor. So go into File and then Options. And in the Integrations tab, make sure you've chosen Visual Studio Code as your external editor and you've chosen your shell of choice. So that's it. You've installed everything you need to get started with Hugo. Remember to subscribe because I do release videos every week based on Hugo, and hit that bell button so you're notified when they're released. Give it a thumbs up if you liked the video, and if you've got any questions or comments, please leave them below in the comments section. Thanks for watching. See you next week.